How many times have we ended a meeting with a client and we told them to do something? We assumed they were going to do it. The date comes, they haven't done it. Now, listen, reminder sequences do work, but they work a lot better if we have an appointment on the books. Hey, as the owner of a law firm, do you find yourself wondering, how can I get through the work that we have faster? How can I make it more efficient and yet remain profitable without reducing client value, like the fee that the client charges, and yet increasing client satisfaction? The first question that people ask all the time is, why book a meeting from a meeting? If you're not using something called BAMFAM, book a meeting from a meeting, you're missing a secret cheat code for your practice. And today I'm going to unpack it. I've talked about this before. The first thing is you can't run BAMFAM without understanding the stages in your case. And the moment you understand the stages in your case, you can start to see where the money is tied up in those stages. Then most importantly, we're going to start to identify how long each stage takes. That's really important. And then we're going to be able to identify who's the best at running that particular stage. There's a difference between saying to somebody, hey, I want you to get me your documents by the end of the week, or saying to somebody, hey, we've got an appointment on the books to get you your documents on Friday at 10 o'clock. And here's a list of things I need you to prepare for us. And you can be uploading to this portal and then building reminder series that work towards that appointment on Friday. The first thing that happened is we had the initial consultation, right? And from the initial consultation, we BAMFAM'd from the initial consultation over to the onboarding call, right? And so once they got on the onboarding call, they met with the legal team, they met with the customer service team. We wanted to move forward. As soon as that happened, we booked the document upload appointment. We're going to tell them we have an appointment on the books to collect your documents. That document upload appointment might be right then and there. It's still an appointment. It happens live, but it's a document upload appointment. Now, if you have to schedule it out for different reasons, fine. Go ahead and schedule the document upload appointment. And then from the document upload appointment, what happens is that we end up with two paths, the client path and the internal path. This is where it really gets genius, right? On the client BAMFAM, the document upload appointment goes to the signing appointment. The signing appointment goes to the virtual hearing. And then the virtual hearing, assuming all went well, goes to the discharge party. Yay! But in order for all that to happen, the signing appointment at the same time was scheduled a petition prep so that these two things would align. The petition prep, as soon as that was done, scheduled the petition review. The petition review scheduled the signing appointment for the attorney or the paralegal to be on there. From the signing appointment, they filed the petition, whether they scheduled to file the petition or they filed it right away, depending on how your firm does it. And then from filing the petition, we went and had the virtual hearing signed with the attorney to go to the virtual hearing. And then from the virtual hearing, we maybe had post-hearing work to do. And then from that post-hearing work, we have the discharge party where we're celebrating with the client. But all of these, every single one of those are BAMFAMs. Book a meeting from a meeting. Why? Well, we know an initial consultation should be 30 minutes plus a 15-minute buffer. We know the same thing of onboarding, 30 minutes plus a 15-minute buffer. Document upload, signing appointment, probably an hour for most firms with a 15-minute buffer. Virtual hearing, probably an hour for most firms just by the way that it happens with the buffers. Then you have the discharge party where they come to your office and get all sorts of pictures and gifts and surprises and wonderful things where you sort of delight them and celebrate with them. You could do it virtually, but I'd love to see you do it in person if you could. If you work statewide and you can't do it in person, fine, do it virtually, but let's celebrate when we deliver their discharge papers. And then internally, we know a petition prep. Let's say it takes, I don't know, if you're not using AI, an hour and a half to 2 hours. If you are using AI, a heck of a lot faster. But let's say it takes an hour and a half plus 15-minute buffers. Let's say a petition review takes 30 minutes plus a 15-minute buffer. Then you have filing the petition. Then you have the post-hearing work. Now, that's a little different, but we can still assume what those blocks can be. And see, once you know how long each one of these particular meetings take, we can backfill how much staff we need based on the labor hours we have available and the skill sets we have available. If you want more information about this, we specialize in this idea of staffing and information around managing workflows and managing staff in general. Go and visit us at thestaffingroom.com. Happy to share with you some resources there. There's a different way to look at this. So somebody says to me, well, this is just going to result in too many meetings. What if we were looking at this? And this is a calendar for a document upload person. What if your firm was so large that you had one person that all they did was document upload appointments? I know firms just like that. And so this particular document upload appointment, there's 50 of them in a week that can happen. We need a half an hour plus a 15-minute buffer. We can actually get all the documents for a client in 30 minutes with a 15-minute buffer, and we could do this 50 times a week. That means if you had a dedicated person who was dedicating this much time, had time for break, time for lunch, time for morning meetings, and had time for a weekly retrospective, we could get 50 document upload appointments. That's 2,500 clients a year. Chances are pretty good you're not doing that much. And if you are, you're in the top 1% of bankruptcy filers in the country. You can build out a calendar just like this. Is this too many meetings? No, it's the exact right amount of meetings, and that's the point. Once you know how long something takes, once you know how many labor hours you have available for you to do that, you understand your capacity. This prevents you from running out of capacity, to see inside of your capacity to determine if you've got too much left over and can you have them do something else. This allows you to distribute your team amongst the different roles while using BAMFAM. All you do is use scheduling calendars that connect their actual calendar, Google, Outlook, internal to your case management program. And all that does is add it to their calendar, and it's pre-scheduled out, and everybody knows exactly what they're going to do when they walk into work that day because they have appointments scheduled. It doesn't matter what their job is. The point is, based on how many hours they have available in a week, based on how long it takes to do that job, and assuming every single stage, book the stage after it, you can then perfectly plan out the capacity that you have. Rich, what about emails, phone calls? Why are they dealing with any of that? They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be dealing with emails. They shouldn't be dealing with phone calls. There should be somebody else on your team that manages all that. Of course, there is exceptions. Of course, there are situations that have special handling. We're just suggesting don't build your plan for that. Build your plan to maximize out your capacity and then deal with the outliers as they happen. You'll quickly determine how much of this capacity you can realistically maintain. Your firm might be a little different than somebody else's firm, but generally speaking, if you're a criminal firm or a family law firm or a estate planning firm or an immigration firm, it doesn't matter. You can do this. Your firm has stages and you could use BAMFAM. It's not just for sales. Once you do all this and you realize that everything's by an appointment, that means every one of the processes that you have that they have to do that are by appointment, that they have on their calendar and they have all the ingredients they need to do the process, can be recorded while they're doing it, and you can identify their tasks, and you can have AI run reports on that. And it's going to fundamentally tell you whether you're off kilter or if there's a bottleneck in your firm. See, AI isn't going to eliminate the jobs. AI is going to make everything work better. But AI is going to rely on you having the humans set up properly by using a system like BAMFAM. When you do that, AI can go to work and be even more powerful in your firm. We're not going to lose employees. We're just going to get more work done with the employees we already have. If you want to soar your firm to the next level, you need to start committing to this BAMFAM process. You need to start understanding exactly the capacity that you have as a team by stage, by BAMFAM appointment. And when you do that, you'll start to develop your workflows in a way that AI can actually tackle. If you want more information about this, we specialize in this idea of staffing and information around managing workflows and managing staff in general. Go to and visit us at thestaffingroom.com. Happy to share with you some resources there. But whatever you decide to do, I'd love to build you a better law firm, one BAMFAM system at a time.